privacy, I'll keep it hush, hush. I'll stay down low for you. I like when it's just you and me, I'll keep it hush, 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 baby.
Hey guys, it's Lex
and Courtney,
and we are here again with The Pleasure's All Yours, a pleasure positive podcast that really focuses on educating and making a safe space for Black and queer femmes, really giving that sexual liberation to the community. And at the end of the day, we're really always here to emphasize that the pleasure is
it's all yours, baby.
It's got your name on it. So we don't since Courtney has come up with a new segment instead of a catch up. It's called your pleasure moment.
Yeah, your pleasure moment.
And we're recording on a Tuesday, not a Sunday.
It feels a little strange.
It does, yeah. I literally was like, I feel like the rest of my week is gonna feel weird.
Yeah. Like tomorrow, is it Monday?
No, it's Wednesday. Yeah, T-Pay Wednesday. But yeah. What was your pleasure moment since the last time we recorded?
Okay. My pleasure moment was probably spending some quality self-care time.
Okay.
This past week with my mind, body, and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I gave myself a nice face mask. I did some journaling.
Mm-hmm.
I did some eclipse renovations on my life because I feel like the retrograde and the eclipse just really were just beating the shit out of me, bitch. Mm-hmm. So I did some kind of light spell work.
Okay,
and
love
released
that.
a lot of things
Ooh,
that were on my mind.
I didn't know my bitch was working with spells. Okay,
let's not
yes.
Don't tell my grandma. But I be burning paper and shit on my balcony.
I love it.
From time to time.
Perfect.
Yeah, I get my crystals out. But yeah, that was my pleasure moment. Was probably spending time by myself. What about you?
Okay. I don't want to say anything work related for my pleasure moment because working doesn't really bring me pleasure. Money does.
Truly.
I guess I would probably say it's been really rainy, overcast in Tejas for the past week or so. So Saturday was the only day in a week that we got where it was sunny, no clouds, hot as balls. And, I just spent time by the pool with Red and my roommates, and literally just swam around in the pool and drank cocktails and ate snacks. And that was pretty much it.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, that was really all I did. And I took a lot of naps this weekend, which was very perfect. I'm really not doing much of anything. I realized that what I need in my life is nothing. In regards to drama and craziness of any kind. I really just want to be chilling with the people I like to be chilling with. That's really all I want right now. So that's really all I'm focused on.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that for you. That sounds like a very rewarding time because I know it's been kind of crazy and kind of wild. So you can just kind of focus on you. And
I realize every time I add new energies to my life, I can't at this current moment with new people. I just can't. As much as I'm I want play partners and I want this and I want that. I actually do not. I don't, because I don't have the energy and I just don't have the energy right now. So I'm focusing inward and just my connections with the people around me. So yeah. Well, today we are going to be talking about STDs and destigmatizing them and really the fact that there's nothing wrong with having them. But the main reason why I want to talk about this is because, one, me and Courtney couldn't figure out a topic for this week. But as we were texting about a topic, we were hanging out. As we were hanging out about a topic, this nigga that I fucked earlier in this year, which I did talk about at some point on an episode.
Yeah, that was the winter storm.
My hot neighbor.
Okay. I hope you guys cannot hear my neighbor upstairs. I'm so sorry. We got some new neighbors that have moved in and have ruined my life.
Oh no.
Anyway.
I feel like we should go up there.
And do what?
I don't know. We could fake gun,
oh my God, what if they have kids,
just hang out at their door.
What if they have children?
Okay.
Wow, fuck them kids for real. It's really fuck them kids over
Because
here.
they're like ruining your life and
My
livelihood. They're not
experience.
even paying bills and they're ruining your life.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Who is this heavy-footed ever?
Yeah. Just walking in a circle up there.
I hope y'all can't hear this, but if you can, I'm really sorry.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So,
Winter Storm Dick.
Yes, Winter Storm Dick, my hot neighbor who I had been eyeing for like 2 years, you know. So randomly on a Thursday night, this man texts me and says, "Hey, I just wanted to ask you, have you had chlamydia recently?" And I was like,
Never really want to get a text like that.
you don't want to get a text like that in the middle of the day. And I was literally hanging out with Court and I was like, wait, this does not say what I think it says, but it did. And like, I wasn't like in a big hoopla about it, especially because I did go get tested the week prior anyway, because it was that time. But he texted me that, and then he was like, "I don't trust my girlfriend, something. But you were like, I've been tested 3 times since the last time you and me hooked up. And it all came back clean, but this one has not." And I was like, oh, wow. And then he was like, well, I don't know if I can trust my girlfriend, which I think is so funny because she don't trust that nigga because he be fucking around. Hello.
Clearly. Because, like, he said, I don't trust my girlfriend, but y'all fucked how many months ago? 2?
It was like February, January, yeah.
3 or 4?
3, yeah, about 3 months ago. So, you know, that's all happening. And I'm like, okay, this is different. And I was like, I just got tested, but like, nothing weird has been going on. But as we will learn, it doesn't matter if nothing weird is going on.
Very much so.
Anyway, yeah, but I told him that I would call my doctor the next morning and see if they had the results available and that I would get back to him. And he was like, okay, cool. But, you know, basically, I just want to let you know I was daydreaming about you, and I did just want to check in on you and see how you were doing. And what?
Yeah, you know, I was just daydreaming about you, so I thought I'd text you and make sure you didn't have that chlamydia, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what?
What the fuck?
He literally used it as an end to shoot a shot at me, and I was like, what the fuck? But I did text him when I got my results the next day, and I was like, as I figured, I am a clean baby. Thank you very much.
So, I have to ask the question, bitch.
Yeah.
Were you not wearing a condom?
I was, but like, you know, not when I was like oral, yeah.
Okay.
Not when we were doing like mouth and hand stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's always that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely use protection. Protected me, protected my other partners. Ain't no dick about to keep me from coochie, okay? And all you got to do is wrap it up to prevent this from happening. And that's all I care about. So, yeah, that's really it. That's
okay.
that.
Fuck
But
that nigga. I mean, it's not, you know what?
not fuck that nigga, because he could have also just not texted me.
Yeah,
he could have just not said anything. Yeah. And then if I would have had it, there's only 2 places it could have come from. So, and I know where both of them niggas live. So, you know, I ain't worried about that. I'm coming. I'm not even telling you I'm coming to your house. I'm going to just pop up.
But again, if you do have an STD, you know, you shouldn't go in with thinking that your partners are going to be violent or upset with you for giving them an STD, especially if you are not in a committed relationship. If you are a single person that gets an STD and you're just doing your due diligence to tell people that you have an STD to make sure that they can get tested, you shouldn't expect violence.
But I think it's what would be violent for me is like, especially knowing like if you had it and you didn't know, that's where the violence for me comes from. Okay. Because like, my nigga, you walking around with the clap and ain't even tell nobody. What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Insane.
I have some people from college that I knew, and it was 2 friends, and one of them got chlamydia, didn't find out until like a year later, and the only reason that they knew it was a year is because he's like, I really haven't had sex since this person in July, and then like the following June they realized they had chlamydia. Wow. It took them so long for them to even feel any symptoms. Like he said he went to go get tested because he had burning in his urination. And the fucking clap. And then like a few weeks later, another friend in that same friend group in college also had chlamydia that he had gotten from his girlfriend. And I was just like, damn, this shit really stay in your system for a long time, because the girlfriend didn't know she had it, and they were together. They've been together for like 6 months. Yeah. So And you can't blame her because she was single at the time when she got the chlamydia, but she didn't know she had it. Then she started a new relationship and gave the chlamydia to her current partner, and then they were just passing it back and forth, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you get fucking tested. I know we're gonna talk about it later, but
yeah, we are gonna talk about it. We are, but yeah, whole segment on STDs, how to prevent them, what they are. And a few things about HIV and AIDS that I also didn't know. You know, this was very informative. Researching this, I did primarily look at queer statistics.
Yay!
But you know, everybody will be lumped in there. There was like quite a few articles on how STD rate and sexuality can be different than the mainstream. But you know, in the articles they say, what do they call gay people? In the articles, they call them. It's like sexually something.
Sexually deviant?
No. It's like
Subversive. No. Diverse.
Something. I think it's like something like that. I don't remember, but they don't say gay. They just use this term. I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Sexually fluid.
Something like that. Okay. We don't have a fun fact today.
Okay,
and
girl, fuck a fun fact. Shit ain't fun.
Yeah, that's really just because I forgot. But anyway, many sexually transmitted diseases are often socially stigmatized. This starts with extreme judgment around sex and kinks and freely living your sexual life as you would like to. Having an STD really just lets everyone know, oh, I have been fucking and I've been fucking raw damn near. So there's that, which can usually get judgment and a negative reaction like immediately. Like even when you go and tell your friends, oh yeah, I met this guy, I fucked him, I didn't wear a condom. It's usually like
Bitch, you nasty?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so you know, even sometimes, bitch, if I see the nigga and then you tell me you fucked him with no, that is what will get me like you risk your life for this. But yeah, people are often seen as dirty, slutty, used goods, and some might even lose their partners or experience violence, which is cool that like your friend didn't experience that whenever, you know, they're in a committed relationship for 6 months and then it's like, where the fuck did you get chlamydia from? But there are more than 1 million sexually transmitted infections acquired worldwide daily.
Repeat that whole fun fact. That's the fun fact.
That's the fun fact. More than 1 million sexually transmitted. Each year there is an estimated of 374 million new infections. So, like, in 1 year, 374 million new infections.
So that's 1 million infections a day.
That's 1 million infections a day. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You can't really have any kind of fun out here, bro.
You can't have any kind of fun because you niggas don't know how to fucking have fun safely. But it's okay because we're going to teach you. It's fine.
But will they listen?
Will they listen? Chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, and I know that's just what they call it.
Trichomoniasis.
Yes, there we go. Those are all curable and treatable infections. So like if you get them, don't sweat it, homie. Just go get some
antibiotics.
Go get some antibiotics. Lay off the fucking for a while. Even if you are using protection, I mean, I wouldn't be throwing pussy around with chlamydia in it.
Just give it a break.
Just give it a break.
Clean her system out.
She'll be okay.
She's in self-cleaning mode.
Yeah, she'll be all right.
I hate to scare you guys.
Okay, I'm scared.
But whenever you get sick and you get a little chest infection, okay, and you get a little sinus pressure, and you need to take a motherfucking pill, like an antibiotic,
okay,
finish your dosage.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you why. You got a UTI, finish your dosage. You got BV, finish your dosage. Because eventually your body will stop being able to accept that antibiotic and it'll stop working. Like if you don't finish your it out and you just keep getting the same infection over and over again, eventually the antibiotic will lose effect. That goes for these STDs too. And actually scientists are saying that it's becoming harder and harder and harder to find new antibiotics to kill the new versions of gonorrhea and chlamydia that are becoming antibiotic resistant. So they're making like one big STD superbug kind of situation.
Oh,
so like if you don't finish your antibiotics, guys, you're going to get STDs and we're all going to die because there's no antibiotics to cure these STDs.
It's not going to be a zombie apocalypse. It'll just be everybody with fucking gonorrhea.
What a smelly existence.
Oh. I hate that you put that in my head. Oh my God. I just imagine like a big foggy cloud of gonorrhea.
Like that's what it would look like at the state fair. Just like, ew.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. That's awful. More than 500 million people between the ages of 15 and 49 have a genital infection with herpes simplex virus, which is HSV. If you have cold sores, that is usually, especially if you get them like often, I guess, that is like definitely a sign. A lot of people have it. It is pretty common for people to have it. I actually think that's like a separate test you have to get. I don't know if that's in the panel.
It should come in the panel. I see mine when I get the panel. It says HSV screening, and it'll say type 1 or type 2 or whatever. Clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be in the regular panel.
Okay,
that should be in the panel. But you know, always ask. Just ask for it. You know,
Okay,
so they can
yeah.
make sure they give it to you.
Just to be sure.
Also, I'm really gonna be in.
No,
here.
yeah.
Okay, I'm really
I would just like to say Court is really the expert here, because she works in the medical field. But I'm just here with the words.
I do a lot of nasty research. That's all.
But also the first thing.
I'd like to give a little moment for the ladies and the misters struggling out there with hidradenitis, because a lot of these things that she's describing, like the whole cold sores, like how you can tell that somebody has herpes, or how you could tell that somebody has HPV by like the bumps on their skin. There's a difference between a cold sore blister and an ingrown hair. And also a difference between an ingrown hair and hidradenitis. Those are things that a lot of black women struggle with because our hair is nappy. Yeah. So naturally we get ingrown hairs that turn into like little bumps and boils that are just not fun to have down there. I have been very self-conscious my whole life about my hidradenitis flare-ups, which can happen like in between your groin or under your arms, under your tits, or in between your butt. And it can be like unsightly. And I've had to have conversations with my partners, and like, they've never asked about them. I don't think it's ever bothered anybody, but I'm always just like, hey, this is not herpes. This is not some kind of STD. This is a skin condition. So yeah, just go into it remembering that not everything down there that you see is a fucking disease. Yeah. And you should probably have a conversation with the person that you're sleeping with if you think that something is going on down there.
Yeah, open and honest communication when it comes when it comes to that. And I think like just even our own selves thinking outside of even just like us having an STD, also thinking about whenever you find out someone has had an STD or someone does sleep around, because I will say I did know someone who was like, she just the pussy factory. She just be throwing pussy around to everybody, and I don't even think she'd be wrapping it up and blah blah blah. And she was like just talking so much shit about this person, and it's like you can be, and like she was pissed at her for a different reason, but she started getting pissed and then started slut shaming and STD shaming her and all that. Which like I can understand you being pissed at a person, but what they do with their coochie is their own business, and as long as you know they are being safe in whatever way they feel like is safe, i.e. Even having their partners get tested before they interact with people, or anything like that. Like, she don't know how often that bitch is getting tested, and who cares if she the pussy factory? Who gives a fuck, bitch? Like, who cares?
Who doesn't like affordable pussy?
Who doesn't like affordable pussy? So I think that, like, keeping in mind that, like, in moments of anger or in moments of just, like, feeling some type of way towards people, keep the slut shaming and the STD shaming to a minimum, because bitch, it could always be you.
Bro, it can be anybody in these streets.
It could always be you. You never fucking know. STDs and STIs, it does stand for sexually transmitted diseases or sexually transmitted infections. These are diseases caused by infections which contain bacteria, viruses, or the other microorganisms that can be passed from person to person through blood, semen, vaginal fluid, other body fluids during oral, anal, or genital sex. So you can literally get anything. You can get, there's a such thing as called throat gonorrhea. You eat a cooch you don't know has gonorrhea, boom, throat gonorrhea. Got you. God. Fucking insane.
You can also get yeast of the mouth.
Yeah.
Ugh. Like, can you imagine having like white, like caked up on you?
Ugh. But as queer people, a lot of people do just think, especially fucking lesbians and coochie connoisseurs, they're the main ones who think that because you are not engaging in penetration or any kind of penetration, that you can't get a STD or an STI, and that is completely untrue. Even just like touching your partner's genitals and then touching your own without washing your hands or using any wipes or anything like that can still transfer an STD from them to you. So like, really, you're not like, just be safe, and that is why we are going to continuously stress in this episode to get tested, which we've stressed in so many episodes already before this, but you know, we got that again. Gays. Oh, I also have some numbers.
Oh, lovely.
You know. So for gay people, these are only self-reported. So this is like if you took yourself to the clinic and you're like, okay, it's time for me to get tested. That's the only results that these are for. It did not say not self-reported, which is what I was looking for in the article, because you know it's like going to the doctor and then them telling you, oh, you're fucking 8 weeks pregnant or some shit like that, you know. But instead you got gonorrhea. So yeah, but some self-reported STD and STIs. Bisexual women being the highest of our STD population.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, at 57% of bisexual women have had or have an STD.
What's the reason?
I personally, what you said earlier about like these DL niggas being DL and not fucking saying anything and fucking raw and then just going on about their life and shit, I think that because bisexual women are still with men, and you know, if a lot more women are getting STD and HIVs because of men being DL and not saying anything, which I will say is partially their fault. 1, 2, it's also women's fault because you find out a man is gay or you find out a man likes to be pegged or anything like that, and think about your reaction when you even envision that.
Shit, bitch, I wouldn't want to tell you I like to get fucked in the ass either.
Yeah, very homophobic things. If you think about your boyfriend getting fucked in the ass and you're like, ew, I would break up with him, babe, you're homophobic. I'm letting you know. You are.
All, he said he wants you to fuck him in the ass. So how does that make him gay?
What is the definition of gay? Explain it to me. Tell me right now.
It's boys when they like boys.
Are you a boy?
All right.
Okay then. All right then. His G-spot's in his butt. Do not provide. What was that?
Like, do you want him to feel good?
Do you want him to feel good? I don't know what this neck thing she was doing. I was like, what is that? Okay. But yeah, that was just my little segue.
Yeah.
Because like.
It needed to be said.
It needed to be said. Y'all bitches be homophobic. Y'all be like, I want to eat coochie. I want to go out and make out with my best friends in the club. But as soon as y'all see some gay niggas, or as soon as your nigga be like, I want to go make out with my best friends in the club, you bitches gonna be like, you're gay. Like immediately.
That insecure episode. Oh. Guys, for my listeners, for that insecure episode where Molly like freaks out because she finds out the guy
that's literally one reason I stopped watching it.
It's literally the second episode, and literally nothing like that ever comes up again. But go off, bitch. Whatever.
Anyway, I was like, ew. I have to tolerate her face now that I know she's a homophobe. Ew, I don't want to do that. Subject,
and she actually meets up with him later, like 3 seasons later.
Does she apologize?
Actually, I think she does, and she realizes he's like a really cool guy, but he doesn't. He's like, bye, girl.
Yeah, because that's exactly why I quit the show.
So then you should enjoy the show again, knowing that the character arc comes full circle and she gets clowned.
I gotta wait 3 seasons.
You can't please anybody. This is a touchy subject. I'm done. Anyway, it's the same shit. What Molly did is what you bitches be acting like. And I don't mean you bitches, because I know our listeners are also not homophobic.
I would hope.
So, putting that out there. But maybe you're listening for the first time and you are homophobic, bitch.
And I'm just letting you know you're homophobic. And while we're here talking about being homophobic towards gay men, I'm going to talk about being transphobic towards trans people in general. Okay. There is a difference, bitch. I had to put my phone down because this should be pissing me off. There is the difference between a preference and a phobia or a ism of some kind. There's a fucking difference. You saying, I don't want to be with you because I'm not attracted to blonde hair. I'm not attracted to your style. I don't find your features attractive. That is a preference. You being like, I don't want to date you because you're trans is transphobic. It's transphobic, okay? I don't want to date you because you're trans. I don't want to date you because you're black. I don't want to date you because you're fat. I don't want to date you because you're whatever. Bitch, use your fucking brain. Use your fucking brain. It's transphobic, and yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to say about that.
I really want to play the devil's advocate right here. I just have like a really terrible. I sound like my father, and I don't know.
I'm scared.
Hey, I might edit this out. So,
tell me your take.
So, what would it be called? Because this is what I feel like somebody like, or would say. What if I say I don't want to date you because you have a penis in between your legs?
I don't want to date you because you're a man?
No.
Because you have a penis.
Yeah. So
I don't want to date you because you have a penis.
Yeah, you have a penis between your legs. Is that transphobic or is that a preference?
I feel like wanting a coochie definitely makes sense. I guess like that makes sense. I personally could not say whether or not that is transphobic.
Yeah. You'd have to ask a trans person.
I would have to ask a trans person.
Yeah. We're not the end all be all.
Yeah, we're not the end all be all. So I don't want to give you're transphobic if you only want a dick between, because listen, as long as you're a lady, I don't give a fuck what your genitals look like. Pull out a BBC, bitch. You just made my night. You just made my night. Boom, there you go. Slap it on the table. I'm ready. That is how I feel about that. So personally, because I don't care about the genitals, there's that.
Okay.
But like, if it's someone that is really focused on, I only want to see these kinds of genitals, it's still giving to me, it's still giving a obia or an ism or something. Because like, why do you care what my fucking genitals look like so much?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true.
But like, also, just, I don't know. I just think like, if you really dig this person, if y'all have really good chemistry, why close yourself off on it before you even get there, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, even like people having like really heavy body dysmorphia and things like that, I think like those situations are really touchy. And like saying that to someone, especially to a trans person, well, I don't want to be with you because you have a dick. That just, I would cry for 3 days just for the person receiving this information, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that there are situations like that happen. But honestly, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I just had to ask.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here and be like, yeah, I know everything. Okay, so now we've talked about, actually, I'm going to skip down to my HIV and AIDS section.
Yes.
Because these are two different, often even more frowned upon viral infections that the community does have. Even just anyone can get fucking HIV. Anyone can do that. I am gonna say that HIV is the virus that causes AIDS. They are not the same thing, which I was misled most of my life thinking that, you know. AIDS comes from when you untreated HIV. Like HIV has destroyed your immune system, killing off your organs and things like that. Then that's when you would be classified as AIDS. Until then, it is HIV. Both of these things do not have a cure. Like there's no cure for these things. So once you get them, that is it for life. And I know that there are some stories where like parents pass those things to their children
through breast milk,
through birth, in utero, and everything like that. Through physical birth, yeah. So you know, it's just really crazy.
But there are ways, you know, you can control it.
Yes, absolutely. But HIV, like I said, HIV is a virus that is passed from person to person. AIDS is the disease caused by the damage HIV does to your immune system. About 1.1 million people in the U.S. are living with HIV, with more than 38,000 new infections every year.
Wow. 67% of that being Black women.
Yeah.
New infections.
Yep. Most people don't even know they have HIV symptoms for years and will feel totally fine, which is another reason why it is so important to get tested. Things like chlamydia even, which we have already learned can lay dormant for up to a year. HIV can lay dormant for up to years AIDS with an S, okay? So, you're not getting tested. You're just passing this shit around from person to person to person. You're basically a colonizer.
Oh, my God.
So, look at you. Disappointing the ancestors. What the hell? As I said, there is no cure for HIV or AIDS, but there is treatment for them. I know like PrEP is one that is pretty pushed on a lot of people. I do know that it's not for assigned female at birth. Like that is one thing that they say to you, which I think is awful because like, what are we supposed to do?
What are black women supposed to do?
What are black women supposed to do?
I think that's one of the big reasons why there's not a huge push to find a female equivalent because white women aren't suffering from this. Asian women aren't suffering from this. It's black and Latinx women, black and Latinx people, trans people that are suffering from this disease.
But PrEP is used to help prevent HIV if you are a high risk, i.e., you are someone who like has immune issues, or if you are someone who engages in anal sex or just sex in general, especially with the same sex of men. PEP is used to help those who have already been exposed. So I do know that PEP is one that a lot of people use like pretty frequently. It can keep you down to basically it won't be undetectable. So if you were to like in the heat of the moment not use protection, as long as you are in that indetectable mode, you are completely fine. But it's just a really good way to keep you from getting sicker, to getting to the AIDS part of HIV. Yeah. I know one of my friends, their brother has AIDS, and like, sometimes she'll tell me about like his health and like what he's doing and things like that. And I'm like, that is just fucking crazy. And then like, she was like, oh yeah. And he's like in denial about it. Like he doesn't want to accept that is what he has. He's just like, oh, like I'm sick. Like that's it.
And that's part of the reason why I got to
and that's why I got to the AIDS part. Yeah, that's most likely why. Yeah, that's it for HIV and AIDS, guys.
Yeah, guys, take your prophylactics if you have access to them.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, most of our listeners are assigned female at birth, so maybe you won't have access to that, and that fucking sucks. So then you need to buy the regular prophylactics, like a fucking condom. Yeah. So that you don't have to buy PEP.
Yeah. And while talking about all these STDs, and like you're probably like, oh my God, what if I fucking have HIV right now? Because
why was I literally thinking that? Even though I got tested like 2 months ago.
I literally just got tested last week. Last week. She said, and you know what? When I called about my STD testing, I asked her, I was like, oh yeah, I was just calling to get my STD test. And she was like, oh, okay. Yeah, we're actually going to need you to come into the office so we can have a conversation with you. And I was like, wait, hold on, wait.
What?
You need to come, I need to come in so you can tell me my STD test results. And she said, no, your STD test results are fine. Oh, okay. Your hormonal, like all my other tests that I got taken, she was like, yeah, but the doctor has like things that she needs to talk to you about. So there's that. I was like, bitch, you should have fucking led with that. What the fuck?
Crazy.
My heart dropped to my ass for like 2 seconds. I was like, what the hell?
What's up with customer service?
Customer service these days? But we're talking about this, and here are some safe sex practices. Of course, always go get tested. Always. Bitch, just pop your pussy, but be safe. That is it. Pop as much pussy as you want. Yo, be a bag of popcorn in the microwave.
Pop it every fucking where.
Pop it in a bag. Pop it in a car. Bitch, it don't really matter. Pop, lock, and drop it. Dude, just fucking get tested. Okay, all right with the moves. But safe sex is important not only to you and your body, but as well as your partners in your community. You never know who your partners are sleeping with. And I mean, even if you are in a committed relationship,
bro, it does not matter, bitch. You better go get your ass tested. I'm about to do my spiel.
Do it.
Okay. So if you are in a committed relationship, you should get tested every 6 months. You and your partner should get tested every 6 months. If you are by yourself, you're celibate, that pussy is closed for business, bitch. It's you and your hand tonight forever. You should get tested once a year because there might be something that you got the last time you had sex a year ago that is just now popping up on the motherfucking screen. Yeah. So go get tested a year if you're not having any sex. Yeah. If you are out there popping pussy here, there, and everywhere, you need to get tested every 3 months. That's what's recommended. Now, it sucks that testing is not always accessible.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not always fucking free.
Yeah.
So, or, you know, even if you have insurance, you might still have to pay for some of these tests.
But if you look in, a lot of people don't look into their city or their county's clinics. Most city clinics will do free testing or low cost testing. The most I've ever paid for an STD test is $20. And that's literally from going to whatever county I live in, literally Googling, Collin County Health Department. Call them. Hey, who do I talk to get an STD testing? Is it free? It is free. It is a state covered thing that you can do.
They don't want you running around with chlamydia, giving it to the rest of the people.
And not even that, but I feel like they also don't actually tell people. Like, that's not something that a lot of people know.
Yeah.
Like, even the mental health care services, you can even call your health department and ask them, do you guys offer free or low cost mental health? Like, most counties do that. It's covered by most states. So definitely look into what county you live in. Search your county's health department. If you don't, like, most of the time it's like walk-ins on Fridays between like 8 and 2 or something like that. Or, you know, if you have state health insurance. If you are in Texas and you are assigned female at birth and you do not have an OB, you don't have money for that insurance, please check out Healthy Texas Women's Insurance. It is a low cost, mostly free insurance specifically for you to go and get your pap smears, your STD screenings, your mammograms, your cervical examinations, everything like that is completely covered. Doctors might not be the best, babes, but I will tell you, like, best as in attitude wise, because that has been my experience so far. But definitely you will still get your STD testing. You'll still get your pap smear. They did a hormonal panel for me and everything. I got birth control, no cost, like, you know, so I feel like find your resources, but also if you don't know, you can't find them. So we're here to fucking tell you. We said get tested, and Courtney did say 3 months if you are sexually active. If you really popping puss out here like that, maybe once a month, you know.
I think that's the porn stars have to do it every 6 weeks.
They do it. I know some of them do it even sooner than that. Some of them have said that they do it every 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, naturally, yeah.
Naturally, yeah. 3 months if you're popping puss by yourself. 6 months if you are with a person, and a year if you are by yourself. That even means hand stuff. Like, by yourself means by yourself. That doesn't mean like, oh, I'm getting head from this one guy. I'm getting fingered by this one girl. Like, none of that. I'm sucking. Like, you have to not be doing anything, touching anybody else's genitals whatsoever. Use protection. Latex and non-latex condoms are available. I know, like, everyone's like, condoms are, and in some instances, I can definitely agree, because nothing is like meat to meat, bitch. Ain't nothing like the meat to meat. Damn. But what comes out of the meat to meat? You want a little hamburger patty? Yeah. You don't want a burger.
Damn, bitch.
You don't actually want a burger. So
nasty.
Yeah, exactly. So
not ground beef.
Not ground beef. So yeah, just make sure that if you are fucking around, to be using protection. Some non-latex condoms, and I have no latex allergy, but I will say my coochie does not like latex.
And you know, most of y'all's coochie don't like latex. You're wondering why you're dry, why you can't stay wet. You're wondering why the next day you have an awful smell, or why you're having some extra discharge, bitch. Try Skins. Try Real Feel Durex.
I will say the Real Feel Durex for my larger penis havers, don't get those. So, non-latex ones that I definitely will be suggesting is the Skins, specifically the Skin Elites, because those are the thin, soft ones. It's lubricated as well, not too lubricated, so that's also really nice. And then I will say, though, another non-latex option, which people always go for because it's great for protecting against pregnancy, is lambskin condoms. And lambskin is still skin, babe. You can still get an STD from using lambskin condoms. It is not better for you because it's not latex or anything like that. It's still skin. You can still get chlamydia and gonorrhea and HIV from using these. They only protect against pregnancy. So please remember that. And they fucking smell awful because
I've never smelled them.
It's literally a lamb intestine that they lay out and turn it into a condom. So you want some all up in your shit? Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not with it. Okay, there's also dental dams, which I feel like are a little hard to come by.
They're very hard to come by.
Because they're not FDA approved, which is why.
Why aren't they FDA approved?
Bitch, women.
They don't care about women.
Like
nothing that can benefit women is put into motion except for birth control, and that mostly just benefits men.
Yeah, because hormones. Hello,
bitch. The things that are going on in this body with birth control is monstrous.
Listen, this is my first time ever on birth control, and I have a long list of things to say about it. So there's that. Like, why do my titties always hurt? Like, they usually hurt anyway, but now they like really hurt, and they're like swollen, like full and swollen, which is fine, but also like they hurt and they're full and swollen. And then like I get like randomly like super horny, like randomly, and it's like it hurts. I'm so horny, like
throbbing.
It's insane. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then yeah, and then just like me feeling like I'm having like mood swings, or even just like the random cramping. Like technically I'm supposed to be on my period right now, but
since I've been taking my
pill, I'm not like I'm not bleeding whatsoever, not even spotty.
Being flooded with progesterone, bitch.
Yeah,
it's just really living in the moment of being full-fledged.
Yeah, and I'm not even like in any situations where I could get pregnant. That's the thing.
But I've heard it's good for like PCOS and like fibroids and like, because that's all starts with uncontrolled hormones.
Yeah.
So leveling out your hormones might help with some of the other things you're experiencing.
Yeah.
Even though you got screened for those things, right? And they're like, you probably don't.
No, they didn't. She said to me when I asked her if I could get screened for those, she said, well, we only usually screen people for those when they're having irregular periods or pelvic pain. And I said, okay, well, I just would still like to go get checked out. And she was like,
have different symptoms
yeah.
Always.
And then she was like, well, I guess I could refer you to someone. That was literally her response. Oh. So yeah. But dental dams, they're like thin. It's sort of like a condom if it wasn't a condom. Like if it was just like
a disc,
a square, like a square little thing that you can cut into your own dimensions. This is really used for cunnilingus, analingus. It protects you like a condom while you can still, lick at it, do what you do. I had someone say that using saran wrap is like better because they're like, it's thin and it still protects you. Think about how sturdy saran wrap is when you put it on a container. Yeah. But my thing is, I'm thinking about like licking motion and pushing up against someone. Like, what if you puncture it? That's putting me too close to the coochie without letting me actually be close to it. I don't trust myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also just seems kind of hot.
Yeah.
Like the plastic. Like,
yeah.
Like it's like sticking your face in like a plastic bag.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word. Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
But I know it'd probably feel better for the receiver, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because it's like thin. It's like nothing's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hand stuff is also another way to practice safe sex. But I am noting that touching your partner's genitals or touching your own genitals and then swapping juices that way also can transmit STDs, HIV, things like that.
Toys too?
Toys too, yes, absolutely. So literally, that's why in some of the porn you'll see somebody with a strap and you're like, why this bitch got a condom on a strap? Because like all the bitches use that, obviously, and we want to be safe and let all the bitches use it. When I went to a play party and I bought my strap, there was like 4 people and everybody was like, fuck me. fuck me. And I was like, sure, I'm with it. Yeah. But I definitely had like a bunch of condoms in my bag, specifically for my own piece. And then, you know, they also had ones that they would prefer to use. So there was that too, which was really handy. But yeah, bitch, even if you're gay, even if you're strapping, and you're, especially if you're strapping different bitches, wrap it up.
Shit.
Damn. Masturbation is also another way to practice safe sex. Lowering the risk of touching others' genitals will always lower the risk of spreading or contracting any STDs. And I'm not on the abstinent boat, but like if you're also not having any sex, then you also can't get an STD.
Truthfully. Yes.
So there's that.
You can't get an STD by sitting on a public toilet.
You can't.
Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer. So to end this episode, there's really no reason to stigmatize STDs or HIV. They are just infections and there's nothing bad about getting them or how you got them. As what matters is that you are open and communicative with your partners, and that you are getting tested. The only way to know, like most STDs are asymptomatic, which means that you will only know if you get tested. And the social stigma for being positive prevents others from actually going get tested, because then it's like, oh shit, well now I have to text all my partners and I have to tell them. But you know what? You know who doesn't? Y'all be talking shit about the polyamorous community, but them bitches be getting tested like nobody's business. Sex workers be getting tested. Schedule. Okay, it's all the rest of the population that has an issue with getting tested. It's all you regular hoes out here that got an issue with getting tested. The bitches y'all be shaming are the bitches being the safest, which is the craziest part about it.
Absolutely.
It only takes one partner in the chain to start a spread. So even if old Dante, who you ain't seen in years, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna just go hook up with this nigga real quick one time for the one time. Bitch, 2 weeks later, you itching and screaming.
You got the clap.
You got it. And now you didn't know that you had it this whole time, and you've still been doing like your usual stuff, which means anyone that you have come in contact with is gonna have to be notified. Just like when you get COVID.
Wow. Man,
just
weren't
like
those
when
conversations
you get,
awkward, bro?
Weren't those awkward?
But you probably saved a life.
Yeah, exactly. STDs are common. Again, we're going to say that. But untreated STDs can lead to very serious health complications like infertility.
Permanent scarring of the pelvis and uterus.
Like, what? Cancers also. It can make your body more susceptible to these things. And of course, having an STD of any kind and leaving it untreated can also lead to HIV and AIDS. It can make it easier for you to get those things. So like, again, you have to get tested. Like, one of my biggest fears when I took sex ed for the first time in like fucking 9th grade was finding out like years later that I have been living with HIV, which like, there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, people have very full, happy, and long lives with HIV, but it's just one of those things where because it's permanent, because like so much of your life is like every partner I even have, I would even have to disclose that information to, you know?
Even if you're undetectable.
Even if I'm undetectable, it's my responsibility as a community member to say that. But yeah, it's just a lot. But all in all, bitch, we need to become more open about testing ourselves, asking our partners for recent tests, as well as encouraging your friends to get tested as well. Like literally, if you had the flu or you had COVID or you were sick, you wouldn't go hang out with your friends. You wouldn't go and do stuff. I mean, some of y'all definitely did during COVID. Y'all had COVID and literally still went out and was still doing your usual shit. So like colonizers do. But don't let that be the same with your genitals and other people's genitals, because what's the point of putting yourself and your community at risk just for like 8 minutes of a good time? Because that's what most of you bitches be risking it for. So all in all,
you are not fucking the right niggas. Y'all are not fucking the right niggas.
Y'all are not fucking the right niggas. But yes, that's my soapbox for today.
And it was a good one. You were high on that soapbox, baby.
Yeah, because it all started with a nigga texting me asking if I had chlamydia recently. And I just want to let y'all know, so many episode topics literally are inspired by what has been going on in our daily life. So thanks for continuously giving us content by being fucking crazy people. And, you know,
yeah,
doing what you do.
Doing what you motherfucking do.
Yeah, you got any questions for the girls?
I don't know, bitch. Let's see. You ever had an STD?
I actually never have, ever.
Yeah.
Like, I never have.
Me either.
And like the one time I thought I did, she was like, "You just have a UTI," and I was like,
"Oh, thank Jesus! Thank Jesus! Thank Jesus! Thank Jesus!"
But yeah, I have never had an STD. I really plan on never having an STD. I do know that, you know, you never know what happens or what partners you will interact with, but I'm so deathly afraid of getting them, and I don't like being sick anyway, and my coochie being sick is like a 2 thumbs down for me. So yeah, I try to
protect yourself.
Protect yourself, protect others. I keep condoms in my bag at all times, even if I know I'm not gonna be fucking. It's the same reason I'm on birth control, bitch.
Just in case, bitch.
Just in case.
I'm a freak.
I'm a freako. I like to do freako stuff.
Well, bitch, you know where to find us if this is your first time listening to us. However, on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, you can find us at allyourpleasures_. We do have our YouTube, so if you're watching on YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button. If not, you can definitely go to the link in the bio and subscribe so you can get us on video next time, darling.
Yes.
We do have a fucking giveaway. By the time this comes out, it'll be closed. So
yeah.
You know what?
We'll be announcing the winner by the time this comes out.
Yes, and I hope that you guys all participated. But even if you didn't, you should still subscribe because you love us so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we'll have a great week, boo, and we will see you next time. Love you.
Bye.
Hush, hush, baby.